Question, guys, before we continue our discussion. None? Wala talaga?
Wala.
Wala. All right. So how about giving me a thumbs up, guys, if you guys don't really have a question or any concern? Kasi 90% hindi ako convinced na wala kayong question. Parang ang labo. Okay. So dapat ngayon pa lang marami na yung katanungan eh. Pero bakit wala? Madali, ibig sabihin ba nun madali mag-program? Alright, sige. I think wala talaga yung question. So, alright. Okay, so if you guys don't have a question, hindi ko makita yung yan. Okay, so let me just create a new project. So later na lang siguro pala, since I don't know the title yet. And someone chat. Okay, baka mag-email na lang po, sir. Okay, so okay then. So if you guys really would like to send your concerns personally, then I guess it's also okay. All right, so last meeting, we were able only to finish the exercise number 6, okay, and the sit break, okay. Since as you guys may recall, I've had a seminar that time, so we have to end our meeting before 9 o'clock p.m. All right, so any questions so far regarding with exercise number 6 and the sit break? So regarding with this one, let me just mention again to those who wasn't able to watch the video or the recorded video last meeting. Exercise number 6. That's this one. All right. So here's your exercise number 6 last meeting. So we have one text box, a numeric up down, a button, a label, and then the text box itself. Okay, the same with this one. So in here, okay, we'll get the same answer. Okay, so as you guys can see. However, the formula that that is shown in here is incorrect. Okay, the denominator is actually the one that is on the numerator, and the numerator is the one that is on the denominator. So just inverse those two. Okay, just reciprocate those two. So if you guys are going to take a look on our formula, so the amortization, P times int. So P here is our A, okay, times, so supposedly we have 1 plus interest. But in here, it's directly interest. Okay, so as you guys can see, the one that is in our numerator is the interest. Okay, so interest times 1 plus interest, okay, which is now this one. Raised to term or raised to n. Okay, so as you guys can see, the one that we have in numerator is the one that is on denominator. So they were interchanged. Okay, and then the one that we have on the top will go to the bottom, right? Which is this one. Okay. So that is the only correction regarding with your exercise number 6. Okay, and yeah, so just simply copy this one and you will get the same answer. It's just that this formula is incorrect. All right, and regarding with your seat break, so we have already finished this one also. So let me just show this one to you guys again. So the one that we're doing right now is we're just recalling what we have finished last meeting. I think that one is assignment. Seat break. Seat break. Where is that one? Meaning here is not seat break. Anyway, so this one right here is this one. Okay. So we have degree starting from 0 up to 80. And then we have their sine values and tan values. Okay. So as, oops, this is not it. So number square cube. This one is degree sine tangent. All right, so where is that one? Seat break, assignment group, exercise number 4. Where is that? I guess this one, degrees conversion. Right, so there you go. Okay, so in here we have the degree, 0 and up to 80. So it's incrementing by 10. And then we have their sine values and then tangent values. Okay, so if you guys are going to compare our result, so as you guys can see, we have the same answer. It's just that the count of decimal is not the same. So regarding with this one, we just have to add another format wherein it will get exactly 4 decimals. All right. But anyway, they are the same anyway. So this one is already okay. Okay, so that's it for the seat break. So the next one is DataGridView component. So this one is the same with our list box. It's just that in here it's much more customizable. It's much more better in terms of representing our values in rows or columns. Okay, so here are some of the advantages of our data grid view over our list box. Okay, so in data grid view, it allows the user to add rows. It also allowed users to delete rows. Okay, to modify the columns, rows, you can add mode, you can multi-select those rows or columns. You can have this function, column headers visible, wherein in list box, we don't have that one. But in here, we can have a column header. And then we can also have a row headers visible. All right. So aside from having this one, we can have a separate rows and separate titles or headers in our columns. Okay, so later on, you will see the things that we can do about DataGridView. But for now, let's have this example. So using DataGridView, write a code that computes and displays the squares and cubes of the integers from 1 to 10 with the following output. So basically, we have the same output from before. We have already done this one in list box. So we have numbers 1 to 10 incrementing by 1, and then their values, equivalent values in square and cube. All right. But in here, we're just going to show the result in DataGridView instead of in this box. All right. So to make it faster again, we have this given solution code, which will give you this output. So what I did is I already made this one in my VB so that we can save time. So that one is exercise. I know this one is just DataGridView. DataGridView. This one squares cubes. All right. So in here, so we'll ignore this one for now. Okay. So in here we have the a button wherein it will compute the squares and cubes below the data grid view, and then we have another button here which can retrieve the values on our rows and columns here in the grid view. All right, so for now, let me just show to you guys the button. I mean, the compute using the grid view button. So if you guys have a question, so feel free to ask me anytime. Okay, so as you guys can see, we have here the invisible. I mean, yeah, it's visible, but it doesn't have any headers for now. Okay, this is the headers for rows actually. And then we have another headers in here wherein it's for column. Okay, well, yeah, for now it's not visible. Well, you can add a header on that one if you want to. All right, so as you guys can see, we have the same result. It's just that we have a, how do you call that one? A cell. Okay, so this one is the same with Microsoft Excel, wherein you can pinpoint a certain row and column. So for example, this one, uh, let's say this is column 2 and then row 2. So this one is 2, 2. Okay, we have 2, 3. So what I'm trying to say is they have their coordinates. Okay, you can easily look for their coordinates. So we have 1 to 10, and then they're squared, and then they're cubed. Okay, and then the next thing you can do right here is the retrieve data grid, wherein you can retrieve the values, okay, of whatever we have in this data grid view. Okay, that can be shown on a message box. So if I will click this one, then it will give me the the second row. Okay, and this one, 1, 1, 1, 1. The next one is 2, 4, 8. 3997, and so on and so forth until it reach the empty cell, which is this one, 0, 0, 0. So this is an indicator there's no more other values that will follow. Okay, so if I click OK, this will exit now the uh, retrieving the values in our data grid view. Okay, so yeah, let me just explain to you guys the code. Okay, so here's the code for the button 1, wherein my button 1 is the one compute using the IntegrityView 1. So, oops, let's reset it. Okay, so we have the button 1 right here, and this is the code of button 1. So in here, we have declared 3 variables. We have the number, okay, which is the 1 to 10, and then their equivalent values in square, okay, and then their equivalent values in cube. So one thing that you may notice is we have a clear, okay, wherein it will clear whatever is inside of that data grid view. Okay, so we do this one since we don't want to, overlap the values upon clicking this button. Okay, so every time that you will click this button, it will delete everything first, or it will clear everything first, whatever is inside of that data grid view before it will display the values of number, square, and cube. Okay, because if let's say you don't have this one, I mean, see, for now, I'll make this one as a comment so that this one is not part of our code. So if you will do that one, okay, if I click this one, yes, it will show to me the result. But once I click this one again, it will overlap this one, or it will add another result in here. There you go. So we have another result, 1 to 10. Then another one if you click the button again. So you don't want that to happen. Okay? It's like, overlapping the values that you have already computed. So to avoid that one, we have this function, DataGridView1 that column set here, so that it will clear the things that inside of it first before it will display the result again. Okay. So in here, one thing that you guys may have noticed is it didn't add anything. Okay. So if you're going to find here the collection, you won't be able to find it here. Okay. That's because in DataGridView, you have to declare the titles, I mean the headers. So the headers that I'm talking about is this one, the number, square, and then cube. Okay. So we have to declare that one on our code itself. So the one that you guys are seeing right here is this one. Okay. So we have three columns. The first one is number, which is this one, and then their values, which is the 1 to 10. Okay. The second one is the square, which is the second column, and then their equivalent values for this one, 149 to 100. And then the last one is cube, which is also the title. And the CU here is the values or equivalent values of number 1 to 10 in cube. So we have 1 to 1000. So basically we have the same functionalities in here. So we'll start with 1, and then we'll only stop once we reach 10. And then here's the computation for the squared and cube. So you just raise to 2 for squared and then raise to 3 for cube. And then, of course, you will display them in DataGridView. Okay, so the first one is number, which is 1. The second one is a square, which is this one. And then the third one is cube. So if I will change this one, say cube first before the number and square, well, you can do that one. It's just that the arrangement will be cube here first before the number. And then the last one is the squared value. So let me just show this one to you guys. So there you go. We have here the cube values, and then the squared, the number values, and then the squared values. So as you guys can see, the title, we're still the same since we didn't edit that one. But in here, the values on the second column is the cube one, since we have edited this one or modified this one. Okay, so this one should be number SQ and then cube. And for the last one, so we have here another button wherein it will retrieve whatever is the values of your number, squared, and then cube. Okay, so in here we have cell 0, okay, and then cell 1, and then cell 2. Okay, so basically it's retrieving those address. So we have cell 0. So what is that 0? So it is this one. So this is your cell 0, cell 1, and then cell 2. Okay. So if I click retrieve data grid, so this is your first cell, the 0 cell, and then the first cell, and then the second cell. So it's 0, 1, and 2. Supposedly I will say that first, second, third. To avoid confusion, this is your 0 cell, first cell, and then second cell. Okay, since in programming or in binary, it always start with 0. Okay, until it reached the final value. So yeah, so that's it for the data grid view. And then here's the given code for that one. And here's the code on how to retrieve the values on that data grid view. Okay, and then we have here assignments. So supposedly I will give this one to you guys, but since we don't that have much time, so the activities that you will do will only be the lab 9 and lab number 10. So you guys have exactly 1 week, or actually 10 days before the, not actually 10 days, maybe 8 days. Yeah, 8 days before the final exam. Okay. So in here, I'll just show to you guys how did I compute this one, number 1. Okay. And then the number 2 and 3 will be super easy. Just change the formula itself. So for this one, the name of this one is assignment. Assignment. Okay, so let me show you guys the result first. So we have here the X values and then the Y values. Okay, so why are we comparing the X and Y values? Because it says here, write the code for each item that produces table. Okay, so you can show the output on the list box. or in DataGridView. But in my case, I'll just show this one in DataGridView since it's much more better. Okay, it's much more presentable. So we have here a table of X and Y values for the following. All right, so in here we have this one, Y is equal to this formula. So for you to be able to get the value of Y, you have to solve this one first. And of course, the value of X is already given. So we have a starting point at 5 and up to 10. So it will increment by 0.5. So we have a total of 10 rows, right? So here's the code for the number 1. So as you guys can see, we always have this 1. So we don't want to overlap the results on your data grid view. So just always have this 1 on your code. And then I have declared 2 variables, which is the X and Y. Oops, the data grid view columns at 1 were repeated. There you go. So declare the variable X and Y, and then declare function for the DataGridView. And then we have here the title, okay, or the header. Okay, we have the X and Y, and then their values down below, which is the X and Y. So I didn't change that one anymore to avoid confusion. So we have a starting value of 5, and then it will only stop once it reaches the value of 10. So take note, I have used do while. So while this one is true, it will keep on looping. But once this one is false, then that's the time that it will stop looping. So in here, we have a formula Y is equal to 3 times X raised to 5. So where this one came from? It came from here. So 3 times X raised to 5, which is this one, minus 3 times X raised to 3, which is now the second expression, minus 3 times X raised to 3. And then the last one is plus X. So just simply say here or write here plus X. Okay. And then of course we will display them, okay, starting with the arrangement. So the X first followed by the Y. And then it's incrementing by 0.5. So initial value is 5, the next value is 0.5. I mean 5.5, and then the next one is 6, 6.5, etc., etc. Okay. So if you guys are going to take a look in this one, we have the values of X and then the values of Y. So if the values of X is 5, we have 9,005. If we have this formula, we have 5.5, we have 14,000. If we have 6, we have 22,000. We have 6.5, we have 33,000, and so on and so forth, up to 10, wherein you will get 297,000. So in here, we were successfully able to show the values of X and Y in a table. Okay, so for the number 2 and number 3, just change this one. Okay, I mean this formula into this formula. Okay, as long as the syntax of your formula is correct, then you will have the same answer or correct answer. And in here, for X between 1 and 3 in increments of 0.5. So we have a values from 1 to 3, okay, and it's incrementing by 0.5. Right, and in here we have a very simple value, wherein E right here is math.exponential function. So math.exponent times 0.8 times T. Okay, wherein T is actually between 4 to 10, and it's incrementing by 0.2. Okay, so the only thing that you need to change in here is the formula and the incrementing values, and of course it's maximum and minimum value. Okay, for this one, it's the same. You're only showing the result in X and Y. All right, so that's it for now for the part 1, since we don't have enough time anymore. So we'll just continue the rest. Okay, this is example right here of XC2 on the part 2. So any questions so far or clarification? Hello? Were you guys still there? Okay, none question coming from Ms. Eliza. All right then, so if you guys don't have a question anymore, then goodbye for now and see you guys on part 2. Okay.